And now it's going to be a long, painful summer before they get a chance to respond. As we said, they came together here in the Eastern Conference playoffs, but it all came apart after taking a 2-1 lead in his best-of-7 series.
The NBA 10 years ago, it was completely different. For starters, the NBA was just so down bad, bruh. Like, we didn't even know we were getting a season that year. Big disagreements between players and owners when it comes down to how the money would be split going forward. It caused a 5-month lockout. Now, during this time, we did get blessed. Like, ball is life. That was basically our NBA. We got some of the greatest pickup games of all time with damn near all our favorite players being involved, so that was a plus. But eventually, we got to the point where we were ready for some real basketball. Entering that December, the players and the owners finally came to a mutual agreement that would help benefit some of the smaller market teams that were vastly struggling and help balance out that power structure between players and owners. At that time, players damn near ran everything, still kind of do. The 2012 season, it will start with one of the biggest what-if trades of all time. We're still hearing about this one specific trade to this day. Literally, one of the biggest reasonings for the lockout even happening in the first place was small market teams not feeling like they can thrive in this new big city, big star league. So of course, David Stern wasn't going to allow this fresh off a lockout, especially with Dwight Howard likely coming right after that, so it got blocked. Chris Paul would still find himself in LA, but now he was next to a second-year player instead of a 5-time champion. Unlike the new 2Ks, NBA 2K12 would actually show mad growth with a brand new greatest mode feature. For me being like a 14-year-old basketball fan at the time, this was like a good teaching mode for me. I could literally take all-time legends in a video game and actually live out some of their all-time moments in the NBA. Moments I didn't even get to see because I was too young. That was a pretty cool feature for me. Fun fact, that 2K got the highest IGN rating in NBA 2K history, so unfortunately, it's been pretty down from there. After LeBron tragically left Cleveland in 2010, the league felt bad enough and they played bad enough to grant them that #1 pick. And, you know, it worked out pretty well for him. They got Kyrie Irving in 2011. He won Rookie of the Year in 2012. The season would kick off on Christmas Day, with now a temporary 66-game season as opposed to an 82-game season. The reigning MVP, he picked off exactly where he left, beginning the season with a game-winning floater over Kobe Bryant's Lakers. Earlier that month, D-Rose signed a $94 million contract at 22 years old. Now that doesn't sound like that much right now, but at the time, that was big money. The only reason he got that much money that early in his career was literally because of the Derrick Rose rule. This rule basically allows young players that clearly outplayed their rookie contracts meeting certain stipulations. This allows them to earn 30% of their team's cap as opposed to the previous 25%. Hence why Luka Doncic today, he was able to sign a $200 million contract fresh off his rookie deal. He could thank Derrick Rose for that. LeBron came back that season pretty much on some type of a vengeance tour, winning his 3rd MVP and leading Miami to the 2nd seed in the East. A young OKC team, they looked extremely dominant, winning 71% of their games, having Kevin Durant be the first player since Jordan to win 3 consecutive scoring titles, Russell Westbrook making his 2nd straight All-Star team, and James Harden won the 6th Man of the Year damn near unanimously. All this, and the oldest out of all 3 of them was 23 years young. Crazy. That season, Mark Jackson took over as the head coach for the Golden State Warriors, and they haven't really looked back since. Mark's first season there, Steph missed 40 games with a season-ending ankle injury. But somehow, that one specific injury and Steph's injury-riddled past, that became crucial and somehow beneficial to the dynasty of the Warriors. Steph's early injury struggles, that kind of forced him to sign a more team-friendly deal with the Warriors. That one friendly deal off that one injury 2012 season from Steph, that gave them the flexibility to get Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Kevin Durant, sign Draymond Green. If you look at that 2017 roster, look at where Stephen Curry was in the payroll. That was the last year of that friendly-ass contract. Also this season, Jeremy Lin would briefly take over the league, putting up all-star numbers for like a 3-week span. But, you know, he would come back down to earth, and unfortunately, a knee injury ended his year and Lin-sanity as we knew it. At the trade deadline, all we really heard about was the Dwight Howard trade scenarios, as it seemed like he was openly available. Remember, that was a top 5 player in the league at the time on the market mid-season, so everybody was in shambles. But ultimately, you know, he agreed to stay, at least for the rest of that season. Wrapping up the season, the New Jersey Nets would play their last game in Jersey before relocating to Brooklyn. And the Charlotte Bobcats that year, well, they won 7 games and set the record for the worst single season winning percentage in NBA history. And this included a 23-game losing streak to conclude their season. I don't know if they did that 23 to welcome Jordan to Charlotte. I don't know, bro, but that was pretty terrible. Going into the 2012 playoffs, it was nothing but excitement, but unfortunately, there were a few letdowns. The Bulls, they were the #1 seed for the 2nd straight year, winning a league-high 50 games. But unfortunately, a career-altering ACL tear for Derrick Rose in the first round, that drastically shortened their playoff run. After Derrick Rose left, they just didn't have enough, and Philly beat them in just 6 games, making it only the 5th time that an 8th seed actually beat the 1st seed. A young, hungry, talented OKC team, they steamed and avenged all their previous playoff losses, and they made their first NBA Finals. Kobe would actually play his last playoff game of his career and score 42. This man left every damn situation on GOAT mode. And LeBron, he gave us 2, and yes, I say 2 because the first one is vastly underrated. He gave us 2 of the greatest back against the wall performances ever, and he made his 3rd NBA Finals. The NBA Finals, it would be a great matchup on paper with now 6 first ballot Hall of Famers split between the 2 teams. But a hungry, embarrassed LeBron, fresh off of what just happened a year prior, he just wasn't gonna rock, bro. I'm sorry. OKC lost in 5, but it was okay because they were young, confident, and sure they'd be back. Just listen to how unfazed James Harden and KD were about the Lakers possibly destroying the West and getting Dwight Howard.
Now, what do you think of Dwight Howard going to the Lakers? You don't care. Look at these guys. Come on, well, that's major. The Lakers are getting a crazy team.
Good for them. Yeah, good for them.
No more 6-man for him. He'll start with Jeremy Lin in the Houston backcourt. In your mind, Mark, and for people you talk around the league, how does this affect Oklahoma City's power rankings in the Western Conference and how they deal with the other teams in the West, especially the Lakers?